Hey, how you doing, my friends? Brian at Two Indians here. Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to install these custom dynamic driving lights and saddlebag lights on my new Indian Challenger and give you some preliminary thoughts on how they perform. I've had some time to live with them, but for many reasons I haven't been able to shoot my final test and impression video, but I wanted to get this out because frankly I've been dragging my butt and I am way behind schedule. A full review, if available, will be linked up here in the corner. Now, if you're new to the channel, my lovely wife and I post videos on rides, reviews, and how-to videos with a bunch of travel, high drama, and nonsense thrown in for good measure. And while Indian motorcycles are at the core of this channel, we also feature my wife's Can-Am Spyder quite a bit. So this video is sponsored by the awesome folks at Custom Dynamics, which means they sent me these lights to review and shoot a video on, giving you my honest opinion on the install and how well they perform. Now, the company is based in North Carolina and many of their parts are made in the US, and they have been very supportive by answering all my phone calls and responding to a few of the problems I had during the install. They have a great reputation with Harley and Indian riders, so head over to their website and check out all the great stuff that they make. Now, before we get into the hard stuff, I want to show you these saddlebag lights and how easy they are to install. You just simply remove your saddlebags, and I recommend you set them up on a work surface area. Now, these lights attach using a 3M adhesive, so just wipe down the area you're going to stick them to and kind of dry fit them in place without removing the adhesive strip so you can see how they're going to line up. Keep the saddlebag lid closed, then just remove the adhesive backing. And stick them in place. So Custom Dynamics provides these adhesive stickies to give you some attachment points for the wires. So just use some tie wraps to secure the wires in place. And when you're done, make yourself a fresh and healthy snack. And all your run, brake, and turn lights at the back of the bike are on one connector under the seat. You just separate those male and female connectors and put the Custom Dynamics connector in between them. They're the same, so they just snap in place. Now, that new connector has two little pigtails that go to either side of the bike for the new lights. Alright, you just plug these things in and boom, you're done. You now have run, brake, and turn lights on your saddlebag. It's that simple. I wonder why Indian didn't do that with their saddlebag light kit. It's kind of strange, really. All it does is just light up. So as you can see, they look awesome and they make your ass end look way hotter. I mean sexier. I mean visible. Yeah, that's it. Makes it more visible. Okay, now let's do these driving lights. Man, I've always wanted a set of driving lights, and now that I have this monster touring platform, I gotta dress it up with some bright lights. Not only to see better at night for myself, but so I can be seen better. Now, these babies are made to sit on the highway bars, and although I think Indian has a pretty slick mounting method for their lights up under the fairing, I like the idea of them being a little more adjustable and on the bars. But mounting the lights on the bars means that I have to deal with this cabling, and if you ask me, there's no sense using tie wraps with the wire on the outside of the bars. No, not going to be good that way. So the only real way to do this is to fish the wire through the bars. Fortunately, there's this little gap down at the bottom where the bars mount, so I have space to route the cabling through. Now, Custom Dynamics uses these flat connectors instead of an unterminated wire, which means that I had to drill a pretty big hole in the bars. I wish they'd come up with a smaller plug or a way to include a little termination kit or something to make this part easier. Anyway, first I figured out where I wanted the lights to mount, and then I marked the location so I could drill the holes, knowing that I'd be able to cover that hole with the mounting bracket after the wire is pulled through. Starting with a small bit and then stepping up in bit size, I soon figured I also had to use one of these cone bits to open up the hole even larger. Yeah, that plug is pretty big. I also had to open up this hole at the bottom of the bars as well, so I could get the wire through. I also sealed the holes with some RTV sealant to help keep the bars from rusting. Sorry, didn't get any video of that. Then you just use some tie wraps to route the wiring back up to the compartment under the seat and plug your little connectors in at the same location as the saddlebag lights. There wasn't an existing wire path in a couple of spots, so I had to use some fasteners with some 3M sticky on it. Now on the left side of the bike, you do need to run a power wire up to the battery, so you're pulling the battery compartment door off and then fiddling around with this nearly impossible to reach battery terminal. Now guys, make sure that you tighten this battery connection tight, because you can't imagine what all kinds of electrical gremlins start dancing around in your computer if that's not done correctly. You've also got this manual on-off switch that you need to locate in a convenient place, and like a dummy I put it here on the right side, but I've since moved it over to the left side of the tank so I can use my left hand to turn the lights on and off. The rest of the wiring attaches the same way as the saddlebag lights under the seat, with the same connectors, so just install these in line as before. But that's where the trouble is, because I found that with my backrest bracket, it's a little tough to cram all this stuff in there, so take your time and go forth gently, young man. Okay, so there's no programming or anything like that, it just works right out of the box. When you power up the bike, the halo element of the driving light comes on right away, then you use the toggle switch to turn them on or off. Now when you turn the bike off, the halo element stays illuminated for about 2 or 3 minutes. Why it does that, I don't have any idea. Everything else on the bike turns off, so I don't understand why these lights stay on. It's kind of weird. So I thought I'd do a quick experiment and demo here to show you the relative brightness and pattern of the driving lights only, and I'm using my garage door to do it. I threw a towel over the headlights so we don't get any spill from it. So you can see the pattern that it throws here. This is without adjustment, and yes, I have tweaked the alignment a little bit since then. I know it's not super dark here and all that, but don't worry, we will be getting into this way more in depth in our next video. All in all, I love the build quality on these driving lights, and everyone that rides in front of me complains about how bright they are, so boom, mission accomplished, right? Hey, I put these lights and the saddlebags at the top of my list for safety and cool factor. Custom Dynamics is a killer company to deal with. They've been awesome the whole time, and I highly recommend them. Guys, I'm going to end it right here. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the install and review video of the Custom Dynamics adaptive headlight and more follow-up on these lights and how they all work together. I love them. You will too. Two Indians, I'm done. Whew, this one's been a lot of work. Taking Barb to the airport. She's gonna be gone for a week.
You know what they say.
I'm gonna miss her so much. What am I gonna do without her?
I don't anticipate you being home at all.
I'll just be at the office. I'll be working.
I don't buy that for one bit.
I'm gonna be so sad.
But I do have my tequila shirt on.
You stepped on my line.
Coffee, you're on the bench. Tequila, suit up.
That's my girl. You're gonna go walk through the center.
Are you gonna let me out here?
Yeah.
Over the last year and a half, they've implemented it.
Be good, honey. Can I help you with your bags?
You don't even put gas in my bike. I do. I love you.
I love
Have
you
a good
too.
day.
All right. Bye, honey.
Enjoy your vacation without me.
I'm gonna be so sad.
Yeah, right. See ya.
Bye.